It might look simple, a growing tourist attraction needing a solution. Lochmorlich at Glenmore and its beautiful beach are a big draw, but simply adding dedicated roadside parking has sparked a tide of complaints and may end up in a courtroom. The council has admitted a blunder.
There was no environmental assessment at all. There's been a lot of excavation of the roots right down to a depth of nearly half a metre. There'll be heavy parking on the roots as well, which causes asphyxiation to the roots, and this primarily damages the trees.
The project began last November. The work was suddenly paused before Easter after an intervention by Scottish Government agency Forestry and Land Scotland, apparently after numerous public complaints. The council is now reviewing the situation.
We were made aware by notifications from the public that works are being undertaken, and there were concerns lodged by those members of the public through the groups that they work through, and we took them very seriously and took the appropriate steps.
An environmental lawyer believes there are grounds for action against the local authority.
From an environmental perspective, in terms of the impact of these works, they involve veteran Caledonian pine trees, which as a result of the work we think will potentially, or at least there's a risk of them dying. The hardcore used will potentially leak silt into the freshwater environment of Lochmorlich, which is also a protected site.
We accept that there were a number of assessments that should have been undertaken that weren't undertaken, and we've been clear in that sense. An environmental impact assessment is one of them.
It's anyone's guess how long the argument might last, but the area is already busy and summer's fast approaching. 2 environmental groups are already speaking of possible legal action. That of course would be costly, but they're already thinking of online fundraising to be able to afford that. A local businessman was stunned that the environmental considerations surfaced so late.
This should have obviously been dealt with long before the work had actually started if there was any major problems.
The council estimates it'll now be next spring before the project is completed. If environmental campaigners are successful, it could mean a different solution to a parking problem that's only been exacerbated by the council's decision to halt the project. Iain Ramage, STV News.